Beware the country road killer in Minecraft Survival Guide. What is going on? I am here for troubleshoot and welcome back to another episode of my Survival Guide where I give you tips and tricks and try to help you survive in the world of Minecraft. If you want to watch me play, you can over at the second channel. But today, we're doing something different. We're talking about one of my favorite topics, country roads. These are peaceful-looking dirt roads that are usually found surrounding villages. And they may seem like a great place for a stroll after a long, hard day of mining or fighting off hordes of zombies. They're not. You see, these country roads are hiding one of the most dangerous creatures in all of Minecraft, possibly even more dangerous than the Wither or the Ender Dragon, because it can sneak up on you when you least expect it. It has no health bar, so you never know when it's coming. And if you do manage to defeat it, there's almost no loot to show for it. I'm talking about the dreaded country road killer, also known as the squid. I kid you not. This thing is probably responsible for hundreds of deaths. At this point, I feel like just driving around the countryside in your car and running over every single one of these things. But since you can't exactly drive a car in Minecraft, you'll have to make do with whatever means you have available. The first step to survival: don't go outside. But if you really need to leave your house, maybe to explore or find a new village or, get this, ride your horse, then you should absolutely be aware of the dangers of country roads. The best way to avoid the country road killer is to simply not walk in the middle of the road. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, it's because it is. These things only attack players who are walking in the middle of a dirt road, preferably on a bridge. They won't target you if you're walking off the road or in the tall grass. So, if you want to be safe, stick to those areas. If you're a redstone engineer, you could build a minecart system or powered rails to ride on, which would absolutely work. But I've seen some country road killer lairs where these things use TNT cannons to blow up the rails, so that might not always work either. Your best bet is to dismount your horse and walk behind it. That way you'll be safe from any surprise attacks, but it's still a good idea to keep an eye out anyway. Country road killers usually take their sweet time approaching you. They tend to creep up from far away and slowly walk towards you while you preoccupied with something else, like trying to tame your new horse or collecting some dropped items. They're slow enough that you might actually notice them coming if you're paying attention. But if you're like me and you spend too much time staring at your feet instead of the road, well, then you're gonna have a bad time. At this point, you might think, hey, I can just outrun this thing, right? Wrong. The country road killer is easily one of the fastest mobs in the game. It moves faster than the player on foot, on a normal horse, and even a skeleton horse. There's no slowing them down either. No matter how much damage you do, they just keep coming. Also, if you thought you could hide behind one of the trees lining the road, think again. The country road killer will simply stop in its tracks and stare at you for a few seconds before charging forward. And if you thought you could hide in a cave, yeah? Good luck with that. As long as you're close enough to the road, you're not safe. The only upside is that they aren't very good at navigating caves. They'll often stop at the entrance and just kind of hang out there. In that case, you can always just run past them. But I wouldn't suggest that unless you're carrying some sort of ranged weapon just in case. Speaking of weapons, what's the best way to defend yourself against a country road killer? Honestly, you have very few options. Swords are completely useless. You can whack them with a wooden sword all you want, and they're not even staggered by a critical hit. One of the only things I've found that works is an axe. An iron or diamond axe can stun them for a moment if you hit them 3 times in a row, but they can still get the drop on you if you miss even once. So it's a pretty risky strategy. You'd think arrows would be a good option, but these things seem to have infinite stamina. No matter how many times you hit them, they just keep on coming. And they also seem to have some sort of precognitive ability, because half the arrows you fire at them, they just dodge out of the way. As for explosive weapons like TNT or fireworks, these are probably the most effective way to deal with a country road killer, especially if you can land a direct hit. Just make sure you're far enough away when it explodes, because the blast radius is pretty big. Now, I've mentioned all the ways that you can defeat the country road killer. But what happens when you do? How do you prove your dominance over this supreme being? What rewards do you receive upon defeating it? Well, not much. Unfortunately, when a country road killer dies, It drops 0 experience points and only 1 to 3 pieces of string. Sometimes you'll get a name tag, which is interesting because I've never actually seen one of these in the wild. Oh wait, I think I did once. Whatever. You'll also have a brief window where you can collect the souls of nearby zombies. But honestly, why bother? With a little bit of work, you can farm these things for string in an area that's much less dangerous. So let's recap everything we've learned about the country road killer. They're fast, they're relentless, they're good at parkour, they're good at dodging, and they're absolutely terrifying. They only attack players on dirt roads. They prefer bridges, but sometimes you can't avoid them no matter what you do. And they can be defeated with explosives or blunt weapons. As for what they do when they kill you, I'm not entirely sure. I've heard they steal your wallet and run away. I've heard they throw your stuff in water and watch you drown. I've even heard they just stand over your body and laugh. And who knows what other horrors they're capable of. Personally, I think country roads are fine as long as you're prepared. Take some fireworks with you, bring an iron axe just in case, and make sure you don't get distracted. Country roads are fine for normal people, but for us, it's a whole different story. So, I guess it's time for the end screen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want,